Welcome, everybody, to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today, we have on our show Duana Welch, and she's the author of Love Factually, 10 Proven Steps from I Wish to I Do. And today, we are talking about don't lose weight to find love, and here's why. Because I know every single woman out there has thought about this once or twice in her dating life. And she's like, no, I think I just need to lose this or that. And Duana is saying, no, don't wait. So before we jump into it, Duana, I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about you and what made you write this book, Love Factually.
Sure. Well, I have a PhD in the social sciences, and midway through my doctorate, I had a heartbreak that caused me to wonder whether anybody was doing research into what makes love last. Because I'm a real evidence-based person. I won't do something because you said it worked for you, and I won't do something because you said I should, but I will do it if science shows that it works for most people most of the time. So I started looking into studies of what works for most people most of the time, and I started treating my own life as my own experiment. I could do that and see if it worked, and it did. And so then people started approaching me to help them, and it turned into a blog and then into my book, Love Factually, and here I am today.
Well, great. And I know a lot of your tips really work because, like you said, scientifically it's been proven. And it sounds so funny because you would think everybody would think like that and everybody doesn't. So I like how you went about this in the more logical sense. So tell us, Duana, why a woman should not lose weight to find love?
Well, Suzanne, I loved it when you said most women have thought about it a time or two in their dating life. I think about it a time or two before breakfast, and I'm married. So I know that women think about this issue a great deal. There is a lot of fattest kind of vibe in our society. That's not true everywhere in the world, though. So the first thing I want to tell you women is, around the world, men prefer women who are heavier than women think is what men prefer. And that's true here in the U.S. as well. When men are asked to circle a silhouette of what they find the most appealing shape, they routinely circle a silhouette that is heavier than the ones women think that men would want. So the first reason is probably you're overthinking this.
That is true. That is actually true. I actually wrote an ebook on that. It's been scientific, and you'll like this because you go on the whole scientific, is that men are attracted to the hourglass figure rather than straight up and down. And they don't even know it. It's just it's in their head. So I love that you said that. So what else can you tell us about why a woman shouldn't lose weight to find love?
Well, another reason has to do with what you just said. We're definitely on the same wavelength. So there was a researcher at UT Austin named Devendra Singh, and Dev Singh did studies globally. And these studies all found that universally, regardless of culture and regardless of decade and regardless of century, if you looked at art, if you looked at porn, no matter what source you looked at, men preferred a very specific waist to hip ratio. They preferred a waist that was a third smaller than the hips, the 0.7 ratio. And it turns out that ratio is associated with the greatest fertility and fecundity. So what men are valuing is reproductive capacity. Now I'm almost 48. So I'm not going to be able to have a 0.7 unless I wear a girdle or, a corset or something, which I'm not about to do. I do not care that much. I never cared that much. But as we get older, we move away from that ratio. And the good news is that's just the ideal. If you have any discernible waist whatsoever, men are attracted to that. Any discernible waist. So don't obsess over this, but what I'm saying is men are more concerned that you have a feminine shape than they are about your actual weight.
Well, and like I always tell the ladies is, again, and when I say again, I say this all the time in all my videos, is to be the best version of yourself. And I will tell you, because I'm very transparent about my own love life, is like Duana said, I've thought about this when I was out there dating. I was like, no, maybe I should just wait until I get back into shape. And I hate my stomach. I'll just wait till I do that. If I waited for that, quite honestly, I would not be engaged because I just, it's not going to happen. That my body just isn't built that way. But I just make it sure that I'm the best version of myself, body-wise.
That's right. That's another one of my tips is my version of that is be healthy. You know, I mean, exercise, and science has even looked at, well, how much exercise do you need to do to get optimal benefits for your weight, your resting heart rate, your cholesterol, all of it. The optimal amount, you can do more and it's still better, but the kind of the big gains are in health are found with half an hour of brisk walking a day. And you know what? None of us has an excuse not to do this. You know why? Because it doesn't have to be 30 minutes at one stretch. It could be 10 minutes 3 times a day. All of us can do that. All of
Exactly.
us can do that. So if you can just work that out to get at least half an hour a day, at least 5 days a week, you're doing what you should be doing. You know, wear things that make you feel better. It's so funny. Sometimes I'll be wearing something and I'll think how I'll start having these thoughts about how much I hate my body. And then I'll realize it's what I'm wearing. I'll be wearing something else and I'll feel, just really super awesome. I need to wear that other thing more often and throw the other one in the Goodwill bag.
That is so true. I love that you said that because we all have those clothes that we just make us feel like, ugh. And then it's true. Why do we wear it? Throw it out. If you notice you're kind of down every time you wear it, you need to throw it out. Because we all have those clothes that make us feel great and sexy.
Yeah, I remember one day I was so upset because I gained so much weight that and I'm naturally a thin person. So I know some people are like, oh yeah, sure, she had a weight problem. But for me, I'd gained a lot of weight and I could just hardly fit in these pants. And I went to work that day. I was teaching at a university at the time. I went to work that day and this man I had never seen before followed me out of a room to come and try to get my number. Now I was happily married at the time. I didn't want him to get my number, but I thought, one of my friends said later that day, she said, isn't it funny, the day you're complaining about your weight is the day that a man follows you out into the parking lot to ask you for your phone number. So again, our perceptions and men's perceptions aren't always the same thing. I will tell you, women also, once you hit 40 to 45, you're going to have to choose. There's a French saying, and I don't speak French, so I don't know how to say this in French, and so I'm going to be really inelegant. After about 45, you got to choose your face or your butt.
Okay, well, that makes sense. So,
and I've chosen my face.
There you go.
What happens is people get really gaunt. If they keep, really thin body, they tend to look really gaunt in their face, and that ages you. And men prefer youth and beauty. It's funny, there was another study that had men pick whether they wanted to see women's faces or their bodies. They couldn't see both. They could only see one or the other. And it turned out men who were body focused were also focused on short-term mating, i.e. one-night stands. And men who were face focused were focused on commitment. So if you have to take care of one or the other, as I now do, take care of your face, which means you can eat more. Yay!
Well, that's really good to know. So do you have any other tips about this?
Yeah, the final one is, another reason not to try to lose weight is anything that you do that scares the hypothalamus, which is part of your brain. If your hypothalamus gets scared and thinks that you're going to starve, your hypothalamus is going to react by ratcheting down the number of calories it takes to run your body. And what's going to happen is when you diet and you scare your hypothalamus, you're eventually going to resume normal eating. And when that happens, you're going to gain not just the weight you lost, you're going to gain even more. So what I would say about not dieting, your body has a set point. It has a weight that it wants to be. And even if you lose a lot of weight and you get a man that way, men are very romantic and they tend to want women to stay similar to how they were when they met you. If you have attained a weight that you cannot maintain, they're going to feel ripped off and you're going to feel unhappy. Be who you are, be the best version of you, and then only accept men who want what you're offering.
That is true. And I have to just add to this is, ladies, it actually doesn't matter what size you are. If you're just the best version of yourself, every man is attracted to something different. Some men like skinny women, some men like curvier women. Just be the best version of yourself, and that's when you're going to attract the right man. And Duana is actually very right in what she says about a man wants you to stay the same. When you get married, he doesn't want you to change. So if you can't maintain it, don't do it. Like, don't drop a drastic amount of weight if you can't do it, if you feel like you're always starving yourself. Because then, I don't know about you, Duana, but I get crabby when I don't eat.
Yeah, no, I actually, I have a friend, we were just talking about this. She told me that she was advised to lose 30 pounds, and what she told her doctor was, I mean, 30 pounds, that's really significant to lose and keep off. Very few people succeed at doing that, in fact. And even people with lap band surgery, you routinely gain all the weight back and then some. Your body, your hypothalamus is very invested in whatever it thinks your set point should be. And what she told her doctor was, I've spent 10 years trying to lose 30 pounds, and all I've lost is 10 years.
Wow. That's very profound. So we're going to end on that note. Thank you so much, Duana, for being on the Single and Stiletto show. So tell the ladies where they can find you and your book.
Sure. You can find me and my book at Love Factually. That's Love Factually with an F.co. And you can get a free chapter.
Awesome, ladies. So go to her site and you can get that free chapter. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the Single and Stiletto show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, go to singleandstilettos.com. If you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you'd like to get our free ebook on the 3 secrets guaranteed to attract any man based on scientific research, just click right here on the video or go to singleandstilettos.com.